Welcome to Energy Work and Healing. I'm Tricia George, an energy healer and intuitive guide, here to help you reconnect with your body, your energy, and your truth. This podcast is all about blending spiritual integrity with practicality, offering grounded insights, energy tools, and real conversations to support your healing journey. Whether you're just beginning or deep into your process, you are in the right place. Let's dive into this together. Hi there, my name is Tricia George from the Energy Work and Healing podcast, and today I have a very special guest. Her name is Sarah Jane Slusser from Soulful Alignment with SJ. Hi, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, good. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, for my guest, I just had a wonderful experience with Sarah because I actually did an energy work session with her. She was my practitioner, and it was really an exciting way to actually get to know Sarah and her methodologies and how she operates. And I have to say, I definitely felt different after our session, which was about 40 minutes. Would that be about
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was fantastic. That was
Oh,
fantastic. And
I'm
I,
so glad
I
to hear
was
that.
Yeah, and I was sharing with Sarah, like the best part for me was like almost like these validating words that you would actually imprint, I guess. Would you call it
Mhm.
that? Imprinting
Yeah,
into myself, um, based on emotions. Is that kind of, am I
yes.
getting the gist
That's
right there?
exactly what it is. Yes.
That's great. I might dive in a little bit differently this time. I'm curious. Now, I know what you did, but I want our listeners to know what you did. So, what is your methodology that you tend to follow for your energy work?
I use the emotion code. I'm a certified
Oh,
practitioner and I have been for almost 3 years now.
okay. That's great. And do you find most of your clients are open to it, or do you have to sort of coax them a little bit into the comprehension of using the emotion code?
Oh, it can go both ways. Usually, when I have people reach out to me and they're like, okay, I'm ready to try this emotion code thing that you do. What is it that you do? They're ready and willing. But
That's
others
awesome.
who are just like, what is this woo-woo thing you do? And I'll just sit down and I'll explain it kind of. I'm like, well, let me just show you. And then that's all it takes. They're stuck. They're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? That was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I noticed the shift right away. We were working with a few different areas of my body, and it was really interesting because I was noticing the subtle changes, which was really
Mhm.
amusing for me. So I love working with energy. It's my thing.
Yeah.
So it was nice to actually have it done to me rather than me doing it to someone else. So it was kind of a fun experience there. So what
Mhm.
first drew you to your career in the healing arts? Why did you choose it?
Because I was feeling stuck myself. And
Mm.
for as long as I can remember, I've dealt with anxiety and depression. And after my last baby that I had, I could not find relief in the Western medicine world. And I went to countless doctors with they're all telling me, it's in your head, take these medications, it'll make it better. When it didn't, it would just cover the symptom and honestly, I would get more worse symptoms because then I'd get the side effects from the medication. So that was definitely not happening when not working. So I had a friend of mine recommend an emotion code practitioner and I thought, I don't know. I don't know about that. So I was like, I'll
Yeah.
just go try it because at this point, I had lost a lot of weight. I wasn't able to digest my food well at all. It was just a very, very dark time for me. And I had three small children to take care of at home, and I wasn't very good about doing self-care for myself. So that was a huge thing too. So I went there and I talked to my emotion code practitioner, and she was amazing. It took one session to I was that client of what just happened? And that was my rabbit hole. I went down it and I read the book, The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson, and I was like, I have to be certified. This is my thing. This is what's going to do it. So here I am years later, and I've done so much with myself, not to mention my clients, but with myself, I am in a better spot than I have ever been in my whole life.
That's great. Yeah, I find that many practitioners are actually working on healing their own energy, and
Mhm.
then while you're working with your clients, you're sort of mirroring their energetic field to heal your space as well simultaneously. Do you find that in your practice?
Oh, certainly. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, what made you choose to start practicing on others? Like, so doing your career, doing your energy modalities.
Well, I didn't know this is what I would be doing at first. At first, it
Mhm.
was just, let me just see what I can do for me. And
Yeah,
then I remember it was one of my children, and mind you, they're younger. They were having issues with school or something. And I was just remembering, like, well, it works so well for me. Let me try it with my little. And
yeah,
overnight, it changed her little personality from this cautious, introverted little soul, which she's not at all. Something had happened at school where it made her go in and just retreat. And overnight, while she slept, I did a session for her, and she woke up her big, beautiful self. And I was like, "Oh my
that's
gosh,
great.
look at you! That is so beautiful! Like, I love that." And I had friends come up to me and be like, "Hey, I know you're doing this thing for you, and you obviously are acting different, and you're a big, better, beautiful version of you. What are you doing?" I
Yeah,
was like, "Well,
yeah,
let me explain it to you." So I decided to keep doing
that's good.
this, and I love it.
That's great, and I love that you integrate children into it as well. Some practitioners, tend to stay away from children. Myself, I work with children as well, and I really think it by making little shifts early in their life, they
Oh,
don't sort of get stuck on a particular emotion or feeling, right? It doesn't
yeah.
sit deep into the body as it would with us, or at least myself when, we were younger. We weren't allowed to always share what we were feeling,
Mhm.
so and by you doing it to your to children, I'm sure it definitely it creates a healing stream almost for them where they're not holding on to those heavy emotions or feelings for a long period of time where it's actually affecting them innately for the rest of their life
Exactly.
sometimes.
And, it
Yeah.
won't even just affect them in them mentally, it also affects them
Yeah.
physically, which it's just
Yeah.
beautiful that you can take that from them and they don't have to learn how to live with it just like you and I did. It's just gone.
Yes.
They don't have to deal with it, and that's beautiful because I work with inherited emotions too, and those are my absolute favorite. So when we clear those, it not only clears it for the person who showed up and did the work, it clears it for all the past generations who are no longer here or who are, and it clears it for our children and our children's children. I mean, nobody has to carry that and deal with that pain and that hurt anymore.
Yeah. Now, would you do that similar to what we experienced in our session together, the
Most
inherited
definitely.
emotions?
Yes. And the
Okay.
topic that we
So
could do could just simply be inherited emotions, or it could be inherited
how,
emotions regarding the throat chakra, or it could be inherited emotions regarding generational scarcity, or oh my gosh, sky's the limit, and
yeah.
your imagination is literally your only limitation.
So how do you detect that? I'm just curious. Are you talking to guides? Are you feeling it within your energy system, when you're engaging with your client? How are you actually detecting whether it's an inherited emotion versus a present moment emotion? I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but
Oh, you're fine. It's I'm told. I'm told where to go. Everything
yeah.
I do, like I was telling you earlier, everything I do is channeled. So I hear them and they tell me where I need to go for the session. And I
Yeah.
also use muscle testing just to double check and make sure I'm not missing anything.
Okay. I saw during our session you were doing something, and I would love to share it with the listeners. You were using these two different tools, and you were sort of doing this sort
Yeah,
of
they're my
movement.
magnets.
Can you? Okay.
These
And what?
magnets, they help clear the negative emotions. So we have a central meridian line that goes front to back on our bodies, and they're just beautiful energy centers. And when I'm in a session with somebody, just so I don't have to be, even if it's here in my office, I don't have to be in their bubble because a lot of people don't like that. I sit in my chair and they sit comfortably in theirs. And because we're in a session, I'm already linked with their energy, I can clear it by using the magnets.
That's fascinating. That's
Yeah.
fascinating. I think, and I love that it actually, for me, I felt it work when you were doing it, and
Mhm.
that's where, for me, I always tell people that energies, there's no delineation line. It's just,
Yeah.
it's instant, speed
It
of light
is.
energy,
It is.
kind of.
It
Yeah. So
is.
it's really wonderful. It's wonderful. So how do you deal with skeptics when you're doing a session? Have you had any clients that came in sort of apprehensive, and almost in disbelief that it would
Always.
work?
Always.
Oh,
So what I do
really?
is it is it's really easy for me. So when they come into my office, because by then they're at least a little willing to hear me out because they're already in my office. They are here for
Yeah,
the session. So they're like, okay,
yeah,
we'll see. But then we start clearing emotions, and it's like, how did you know that? I've been told they think that I'm a mind reader when I'm not. It's
yeah,
like I'm just speaking with your subconscious and your guides and angels, and they're telling me. So when
yeah,
the really fun part is when we get to the positive emotions to replace, and the client sitting there thinking, well, I think I need happiness or whatever it is. And
yeah,
I will be typing literally the same thing that they're saying. I was like, good. I'm so glad that you're listening to your team. That is amazing.
yeah,
But
yeah.
skeptics
Because
outside of the energy room, like outside of my sessions, it is a little bit harder because my energy work doesn't always, I guess, go with people's beliefs. So, like you, I'm sure you already know, being in the energy
yeah,
world, it's harder for us to speak to people who aren't understanding and on our vibration. So they're just not ready for it,
yeah.
and they're not that point in their healing journey, and that's okay. And we just learn to accept where they are. And if they have any questions, I'll just jibber jabber all day long about what I do. And if they're willing to accept what I do, I would love to show them, because then that's the
That's
part that sells them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think when you're sort of in a synchronistic state with your client, that's when there's like a rhythm to the healing, where there's actually that synergy that's occurring,
Yeah.
between the practitioner and because for myself, I'll see it as we're working on intuitive levels, really. So it's instant communication. So when you're typing it and they're thinking it, I think we had that experience a few times,
Yes.
during my session, and it's
Hmm.
just, it just gives you a full, I'll say like a full body yes. So it's not only your spirit saying yes, but it's the physical body that's saying the yes as well, which I thought
Yeah.
was really, fun to witness in that aspect. And then how do you also incorporate, I guess, I'm just going to go right to it, is like, how do you incorporate like the choice? Like you had shared with me that I could choose like a physical ailment versus an emotional ailment. What
Hmm.
if your client doesn't know what choice to make?
We always go with the highest good. So the topic will just simply be the highest good, and that's all I write in there. And
Oh,
again, the spiritual team, they take over because they know better than we do. So I have a fun story with this one. I had a client who came
okay.
in for her heart wall. And her heart wall is essentially when we go through lifetimes, we go through lives, we have a heart wall built up like every time you get your heart broken, right? Or something happens, grief, our our body, our heart puts up a wall thinking this is never going to happen to us again. Our heart will not break
Yeah,
again. This will not hurt us, which is a form of protection. Well, if
yeah,
we keep doing that, it actually hinders us from feeling that compassion and unconditional love and to actually feel, because that's part of being human. So
yeah,
I had my beautiful client. She's one of my favorites. She comes in and she goes, I want to work on my heart wall. I want to be able to feel all these things. I was like, sure. So we're going through the session, and there's not a lot of her heart that's showing up. Like Because when you find the different negative emotions, it comes up in a certain emotion in certain organs. And I was expecting to see heart, 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 like we would for a typical heart wall session. There wasn't. It was glands, 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 glands. And I'm like, why? Why are we getting glands here? So I sat and I'm like, okay, guys, team, why am I getting glands when this person clearly came in for their heart wall? And they
Yeah.
said, that's not what's needed. I was like, okay. So I said that to her because whenever I hear anything from them, it is for the client as well. So I told her that. She goes, that's funny because I am having problems with my glands.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Okay, so that is for your highest good. It is your physical body that needed that little bit of oomph, like they needed that little bit of extra help. So the next session you schedule, we can continue with the heart wall, but right now they're saying your highest good really is for your glands. That just cracks me up every time. That's a perfect example of them knowing what is best for us, highest good all the time.
Yeah, because I sometimes, yeah, I think one leads to the other, and the glands are so sensitive, and they're
Mhm.
so delicate. I don't know if you notice a lot of autoimmune issues with your clients at all, or
Yes.
do you find patterns with your clients?
Um, with the patterns, the topic really dictates where we go. So
Okay.
typically with my clients, they have different topics each time they come in. They want to work on something.
Oh,
So with that being said, I don't really see that. Like it gets to be a mixture. Sometimes I will find a client come in, hey, I want to work on X, Y, and Z, and it'll take me through their present lifetime, age 6, age 12, age 18, age 24. It'll just show me
okay.
like that and it'll take me through the different emotions. Sometimes they'll come in with a totally different topic and then it'll pull the session will be something from like inherited or past life, present life. It
Right.
is amazing to see where these sessions go.
Yeah, that's amazing because so it's more individualized rather than you seeing patterns for your, I guess, higher learning. It's
Yes.
it's more localized, is that correct?
Yes.
That's great. That's amazing. So for myself, I tend to have patterns. I work with patterns all the time. It's really incredible. So if it was, let's just say it was anger, as an
Hmm.
emotion, I might have 3 clients in the same day that are all dealing with anger. So it's
Really?
like,
That's so
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, so then it's like, "Oh, there's something to learn here," there's something to
Yeah.
see or go deeper with. So it's real I was just curious if you had the similar experience because the emotion code you're working with, really, you're working with the physical body and the emotional body primarily? Is that
Yes. Yes.
correct? Yeah,
Because with the
yeah,
emotional stuff, like okay, so it all starts in our mind, in our heart, because it's so similar. It all starts there. And then when we're not
yeah,
paying attention and when we're not doing the shadow work, it shows up in our body. So a
okay,
dis-ease turns into a disease sometimes if
yes,
we don't take care of it. So it's just a
yes,
beautiful modality. So where I can be like, okay, so let's do your shadow work, but I make it
yeah,
a lot easier for the client where you just give me your topic. Oh, you want to work on anxiety? Okay, let's do that. Like for me,
yeah.
I'm not saying it's for everybody, but for me, I did end up after years of doing this, I am not on any medication at all anymore for that.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah,
I notice that a lot. I notice that a lot from because I think the medication there is like it's a numbing effect
it
in a
does.
sense.
Yeah.
It really separates us from ourselves or the clients from themselves, and
Hmm.
it's not a solution. It's just a filter, if
Yes.
I'd say it that way. And then
Yeah.
how about trauma? Do you find a lot of your clientele dealing with trauma and does it play a different role, as a typical session would, how do you see it in their energy field? Is it emotion based or
It's a lot of emotion based when trauma shows up. Um, I do have a lot of clients with the trauma, and it's easier when we do sessions with the trauma. A lot of the times the guides are quieter because they don't want the client to have to relive whatever has
yeah,
been going on. because they don't want
Yep.
us to talk about it necessarily. And
Yeah.
one of my, again, another favorite story of mine is it's incredible how generational trauma can be passed down. And it was my client. He was a 9-year-old little boy, and his mama brought him to me because just within the last month or so, 2 months, he wasn't able to sleep in his room anymore. He felt very uneasy about the window in his room. He felt like something was going to happen with that window, like he was going to be taken out or something. And
Oh,
she was like, just so you know, I felt this too at this same age. And so did my mother. She goes, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know how many, if my great grandmother felt it, but I'm just letting you know this is what's going on. I said, okay. And let's just see. Let's just see. Like, that is our topic, his anxiety with anything in his room, his window. And within that one session, I was able to find out that he had inherited emotion from his mom, from his grandmother, because I can find that out too during the session, where it comes from, which lineage it is. And his 15 generational grandmother had actually had been taken out of her window. It
yeah.
happened at that age,
Yeah.
about 9 or 10, and it's just a traumaversary. That's what they call it, a traumaversary. So it's just passed down generation after generation. And after that one session, like, I checked on him like about a week after. I'm like, so mama, how is he doing? She goes, he's perfect. He's sleeping back in his own room. I don't have any problems at bedtime anymore. Oh, so that's wonderful. She's the cycle breaker. So now her
Yeah.
grandbabies and on, they don't have to deal with that anymore. And to me, that is just so exciting. I absolutely love that about my job.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. And it's nice to clear the lineage,
Yes.
and not have it repeat itself. Like I'll see clients that are definitely, I'll call them like the lineage breakers, where they're breaking all those
Yes.
ancestral programs and really being the one, some people might call it a black sheep, but for me, it's like, they're the purest sheep out of them all because they're the one that's stopping the momentum or the programming of the ancestral holding of
Yeah.
of limiting beliefs. Really is what it
Yes.
is. It's a belief that's not even in the conscious mind saying, I have to fear this experience, like fearing the window, for example,
Exactly.
because it's
Mhm.
innate within us. It's similar to, I don't know if you're familiar with like the 100 monkey effect, where one monkey has a experience and then all the other monkeys know not to do something,
Mhm.
and it's similar to the ancestral lineage, because it's really there, and we're bringing it with us like a backpack, through
Yes.
every lifetime, and
Yes.
we're needing to clear it. We need to take it off our backs. That's what I
Yes.
would say.
That's so
Yeah,
great that you said
that's fantastic.
carrying it through every lifetime. I had a client who, she was clearing something, and in one of her little blurbs of her emotions, like, we were replacing the negative with the positive, and the positive that they wanted, they said, they, as in the spiritual team, they said courage in the dark. So not just courage in the dark. And I kind of sat there like, you want me to say this
Yeah,
to her? Courage in the dark. Okay. This is a 40-year-old woman. I'm
yeah,
like, okay. So as I'm typing it, I'm like, they want you to have courage in the dark. And mind you, this was a past life experience. I think they said from the 1500s. And she sat there. She went white in the face and she goes, I am terrified of the dark. I was like, and then at that point, the spiritual team had told me something had happened to her in a past life in the dark. And
yeah,
there is a reason that she was so afraid of the dark. It was, it
yeah.
was incredible. And so I cleared that
It
for
is
her. She no
amazing.
longer has to deal with it.
Yeah, it's amazing when you start clearing your past incarnations in the present lifetime and how they
Hmm.
really do give you through the clearing. There's like a trajectory, right? Like there's a launching where you have a more sense of a freedom, to
Yeah.
be more of your authentic self and not running from a fear-based program. So
Yes.
that's a
Yeah.
great one. That's a fantastic example. And
Hmm.
then my curiosity, so I do energy work as well, as many people know, and I'm just wondering, do you happen to work with the chakra system or the auric fields at all, or is it primarily emotions and physical body?
I am also a Reiki master, so I do work
Oh,
with the chakra system as well. Yeah. I do that
oh, fantastic.
very, very, I don't want to say part-time. I don't do it all the time, but I'm so passionate about the motion code. I stay there a lot. But when I do
Yeah.
work with my Reiki clients, yeah, I do use that.
That's fantastic. Can your sessions be done in various ways? Like, do you prefer in person or do you like Zoom or over the phone? Like, what's your preference or the client's
It's
preference?
it's up to the client. It really is. I do Google Meets or I can meet here in office. I live in Indiana. It's located in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where my office is, but I mean, I have clients in Canada. I have clients in Michigan. I have them all over the place. So
That's
energy
great.
is
Yeah.
beautiful that
Yeah.
work. And yeah, energy is
Yeah.
beautiful that way.
And then how do you do your sort of spiritual hygiene for yourself? Like now you shared with me that you began this journey, working on your own energy, but how are you doing it now that you're a practitioner? Has it changed?
I I am very cautious about what kind of energy I'm around, such as, and I'm constantly clearing what I call paint splatters on my aura, because I don't want to pick up anything that I have
Mhm.
cleared for clients. So that
Yeah.
includes I do Kundalini yoga a lot, as a whole bunch of self-care, whole bunch, which again was another life lesson for me to learn in this lifetime was that because that's what I was lacking on. And now that I'm have a more understanding. It's like, okay. So Kundalini yoga is just beautiful. I also use a lot of crystal work. I do a lot of energetic processing, like the golden light shower. I do that a lot. So it's like I do it in the shower. So you just picture the golden light coming and washing out the aura, as well as I call it
Yes.
butterfly wings. So if I know I'm going to be in a crowded place, I bring in my aura and zip it up tight because nobody needs any of that in there. So for me, that's even the supermarket because it's too much
Yeah.
energy for me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what, if you could elaborate on the butterfly wings, and sort of explain that. I was curious about your comment on that one for your
Okay.
clearing.
So the butterfly wings, this was taught to me earlier on. It's so your auric field is essentially a circle around you. So you put your arm out. I don't know if you can see it. Put your arm out and you bring it in and you bring it into yourself, you make your auric field smaller. Or you can go the opposite way. So if you want to affect more people, you push it out and you want people to feel your energy more. But for me, because I'm just such a sensitive empath and I feel a lot and it goes right back to me being with the emotion code and being very sensitive. I always pull mine in.
Okay. So would that be similar to like a cocoon, almost like before, like pre-butterfly?
Yeah, it would be.
Okay. That was because I was when I was reading your questions, I was so curious about that. I was like, I love the analogy of the butterfly wing. I think it's a very sweet and delicate and protective energy. So I thought that was a
Yeah.
really great name for it.
Hmm.
And burnout, that's a big one sometimes. So some practitioners have a really hard time with burnout because they feel like they're always giving their energy away. How do
Hmm.
you actually prevent from getting burned out, especially if you said you're very sensitive?
Hmm.
Um, how do you deal with that?
It's really interesting with me because I work so close again with my angels and guides, we have an understanding. If I'm starting to feel that burnout, it's more so even with the kids' schedule. I know this sounds so silly, but with the kids' schedule, if like this is fall
No.
break for them, what will happen is
Oh,
they'll take all the client. Like I won't have any clients this week. I don't because they just
yeah,
know that my time needs to be with my kids. So it's
yeah,
great how they allegate that. So if I'm starting to feel that burnout, I have this little what's the word for it? I have this I guess rescue line with them. They're like, "Hey, I don't want anything else. Let's just I'll block it off on my calendar at work, but even so I'll still be getting the clients, just not then." And then I work on,
Yes.
again, my self-care and working on that. And meditation is just beautiful too. I do a lot of meditation.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and I think it's fair to try to have a balanced life, whether
Mhm.
we're practitioners, or we're in any career. How can we balance our lives and our families and, our careers and even our self-care?
Oh
It's
yeah.
just very important to have all of it sort of together in balance and harmony, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure the kiddos appreciate that time as well when they have,
Oh
um,
yeah.
days off. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
A lot of
But they get
immediate
their
energy.
they get their emotion code sessions too those days.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's
My middle
fantastic.
kid, he will be like, he'll come home from school and he'll be all frazzled and he's like, "Mommy, I need to do extra emotion work today." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, let's do this." And we'll go sit underneath the willow tree and get some grounding done and work on that.
That that's great. I think and I love it that they're already using the vocabulary.
Oh,
Because
yes.
as we evolve, right? I mean, it's like generations ago, you weren't even able to speak about energy work or healing modalities.
Mhm.
Even though for myself, before Western medicine, really, we were doing everything through energy, right? In different tribes and different
Oh, yeah.
locations. They were always working with a shaman, or the main guru, if you want to say it, of their tribe, and it's
Exactly.
it's really coming back to it. We're kind of going full circle in a way, but able to
Yes.
like sort of integrate all of the modalities together, which is really beautiful. Yeah.
Yes.
And then have you noticed, I believe that we all have intuition, but doing this work for the past 3 years, have you noticed your intuition growing or enhancing or changing for you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The more
Okay.
I use it and the more I
Yeah.
communicate with the guides and angels and saying, "Hey, um, I would like to be able to know more in this aspect, or I would like to feel more." But for me, I had to actually tell them to kind of reverse that a little bit because when I first started, I could feel a lot. So every time I would clear an
Yeah.
emotion, I felt it move, which isn't a pleasant feeling. And a lot of time I got a lot of lightheadedness and I was feeling in a more negative way. So then I had to be like, okay, guys, I need you to take that from me. That's too sensitive. So I can even like fine
Yeah.
tune it at this point. But
Okay.
I've always wanted more and more, and the way they gift intuition and knowing is they give you a puzzle piece at a time.
Yes.
That's how it always has been for me, isn't it, right? Like, just give you a puzzle piece
Yes.
at a time. Like, you're here wanting the whole puzzle so you can figure it all out, but that's not how they want you to have it. They would just want a puzzle
Yes.
piece at a time so you get to used to, okay, this piece. All right. So there's a little bit green over here. Okay, this one goes here. I'm like, all right. So you integrate that little tiny piece into your world, and then you get another
Yes.
one. Eventually,
Yes.
maybe I'll get the whole puzzle. But until
Yes.
then,
You
I
will. You will.
love.
Yeah. Even if it's not in this lifetime, it's gonna be in your next lifetime. We're
Right?
definitely building skills and
Yes,
experiences. Yeah.
yes. Every lifetime you build on your last one, and yeah,
Yep.
this
Yeah.
one's about
Absolutely. We're
clearing
definitely
all the negative that I've accumulated throughout these years. So next time
that's
will be real
yeah, I
good.
think it's great. Yeah, and I definitely agree with you. Like we're gathering the breadcrumbs or the puzzle pieces, however you like to see it, whatever analogy, but we are
Mhm.
collecting. And as we do increase our intuitive nature, I feel like they definitely sort of like my words upload, like they upload more information to us,
Yeah,
and sort of like say, okay, she's ready for this step, and next thing you know, poof, there's a whole new tool coming into your space, that you can
exactly.
utilize in your practice. Yeah, so it's
Yes,
really fun. It's really a fun, amusing. For me, I love it as well. I mean, for myself, it's one of the most rewarding practices I've ever had or careers that I've ever had.
I get
And
so
I'm sure you
excited.
feel the
Like
same
when there's
way.
oh yeah, you get so excited. You're like, "Oh, I wasn't able to do this in during the last session, and now I'm like hearing way more. Holy moly!" Like this, it just gets so exciting. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed that during our session together that you were getting very excited and there was a lot of enthusiasm and and you kept the path very clear during the entire session. So, and that closing piece, like I said, that was like the best part for me was like it's like the icing on the cake or the candle on the cake. I was like, this is awesome,
Yeah.
so it was like really a beautiful experience. Um, and then do you believe when it comes to energy work, do you believe there's a deeper purpose for us?
I believe that with energy work, we typically deal with just one person at a time, but that can have
Right.
it does, not can, it does have a ripple effect through the energetic field, which is just
Yeah.
amazing that we have that effect on people. For me as well, during meditation one time, they actually told me to work on Mother Earth's unconscious emotions. So I've been actually working on that, on clearing that, and it looks a little bit different. Mind you, I came out of the meditation like, how do I even begin to do this?
Yeah.
But they're like, trust us. Like, okay, when do I not trust my team? All right. So I work with them, and I've been working on clearing the heavy energy. So I really do believe the more we work on clearing that negative energy, even with just one client, it has that ripple effect because I have mothers who come in here. And when we clear that negative energy for that mother, she goes home with a lighter, more patient, understanding energy. How can that not positively affect her beautiful babies? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's 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 just, again, I can't say enough for what I do. I love, love, love my job.
Well, yes, and that's where it was almost you already said it with even the healing of the earth is how is it affecting global consciousness, through that ripple effect. How
Exactly.
healing one person, it really is sort of expanding, right, consciousness in
Mhm.
that person's sort of I'll call it their circle,
Yeah.
and then that circle is able to touch another circle. So we're growing, I think,
Mhm.
cohesively together. Even though
Yeah.
some people might feel, unfortunately, with that, you always have the yin and the yang, so we have this growth of consciousness and also, things happening on the other side of the planet, where they're in a very heavy space right now. But as we grow, I think it's going to eventually, sort of follow like the ley lines of the earth in order to encapsulate the entire earth
Yeah.
is my hope, at least.
Yes. Right? Yes. Put that
Yeah,
positive
yeah.
intention out there, right? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
And
Have
when
that
we
thought.
said
Even having that thought of raising the earth's vibration and frequency is
yes,
just that in itself is beautiful because not a lot of
yeah,
people think that way. And if it just
yeah,
takes one, just to sit on the
yes,
earth and put that beautiful energy. Because obviously, as you know, as energetic healers, we cannot tap into other people's energy without their permission. That is a huge no-no.
correct,
So what we can
correct.
do is that we can Mother Earth loves, loves, loves when we send her good, good energy, right? So all we
Yeah,
can do is put that energy into the earth and into the air around the negative people, and that can affect them in a positive
yeah,
way as well.
yes, yes, because you're working with really the subconscious mind and the subtle energy bodies.
Yes.
And I like that you brought up the spiritual integrity because I strongly believe in spiritual integrity where you're not
Mhm.
reading without permission.
Exactly.
That way you're keeping your energy clean and as well as whoever you're working on at the same
Mhm.
time.
Yes.
So my
That
final
is
question
very,
is
very
more
important.
yes, totally, totally.
Mhm.
And my final question is more about like reflection of your own life. Like what would the Sarah today share with the Sarah that was much younger in regards to energy work, like in her path?
And in guards, self-care. I just want to scream that at my in a very, very nice, nice, kind way because I was so
Yeah,
lacking. I became a mama when I was 23. So I was younger,
Okay.
and I was still trying to find my path, and I knew I just wanted to be a mom. But when you become a mom, you kind of lose your sense of self. And I never really had a very good job, like boundaries or self-care in there, and I've had to learn that along the way. Unfortunately, my physical body got very sick in the meantime because I just couldn't figure it out. So taking that time to have self-care is not a selfish thing, because that's how I viewed it. And it's not.
Yeah.
It is so important. So important. And just to trust
Yeah.
your intuition, because it was me second guessing myself, and I don't know. And muscle testing. Oh my gosh, young Sarah Jane, please learn muscle testing, because it was life changing for me. Because I not only use muscle
Yeah.
testing in my practice, I can actually use it again to talk to the subconscious, to talk to the guides and angels. And simply, I can go to a grocery store, because I'm very limited on what I can eat. Not limited. They don't like me using that.
Okay.
Very particular on what I can eat and what I can't,
Yeah.
but I don't have to read what's in everything. I can just stand there and muscle test. Can I have this? Can I have this? Oh, I can have that one. And it's that simple for me. And I've actually taught my
When you're
9-year-old how to do that same thing, and he's got sensitivities already. And I'd be like, okay, I took him to the store. I'm like, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to teach you how to muscle test. I'm going to teach you something I never had growing up.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because your body knows what it needs without even communicating. So I'm assuming when you're muscle testing, you're holding that object. Is that correct? In
Sometimes.
one hand and then muscle testing with the other hand, or okay.
Sometimes I don't have to be. I can just be thinking about it. But you have to remember to take the ego out of it, because for me, like, okay,
Yeah.
if I'm holding an Oreo, anything processed, I can't have. There's no way. There's too many chemicals in it, gluten, dairy, all the things. There's no way. So if I'm
Yeah.
holding an Oreo and my ego takes over, so I ask, oh, can I eat this Oreo? And it's like, I really want to eat this Oreo. Of course, the ego is going to say, heck yeah, go eat that Oreo. And then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
wait. For my highest good, no matter what the answer, can I have this? And it's a hard no. Do not. That is trash.
Yeah.
Nobody needs to eat that.
Yeah. Yes, yes. It's very hard. Yeah, there's so many little addictions out there that we can fall into when it comes
Yes,
to
and the ego's like,
processed
yes,
food.
yes, that's for you.
Yeah, yeah. I always see it as the microbiome too in the gut. It's just like it's craving that sort of bad or naughty food. It's kind of like, I
Right?
want this. Yeah. So it's definitely interesting. It's definitely interesting. Well, Sarah, this has been a wonderful interview. I definitely think I'm going to actually share some of my actual session that I had with you at the end of this for the viewers to actually witness a little bit of how Sarah works. And you can sort of,
Awesome.
they can get a little snapshot of it.
Yeah,
So I really
that would be
appreciate
great.
you. And what would be the best way for someone to contact you? Like, what's the most easiest way to get to you?
The easiest way is to either email me if you have questions, but on my website, there's a whole bunch of, I put blogs and posts that answer a ton of questions on there that typically people have. And you can also book sessions with me there too.
Great, great. That sounds wonderful. And then, I forgot to ask you, are your sessions like a half hour, hour? Does it really vary for the
I
client?
offer half hour, 45 minutes, and an hour. If it's a
Okay.
first session, I highly recommend the hour, because it's kind of like the getting to know you. This is my feel of what's going to happen. You know what I mean? The half hour is if you're in a hurry and you just really want this little bit, a little pick me up from the universe. We can get that done really quick. But I just recommend the 45-minute to the hour sessions are just really just everything.
Yeah.
Like those are just the best ones.
Yeah, those are like the aha moments. I think like I
They
said, I think we
are,
did
they
about
are.
40.
And it's beautiful,
Yeah.
so that the client can actually realize some patterns, repeating patterns. And it's just like they go away with so much more in that amount of time as opposed to the half hour. But if that's all somebody has time for or has the expense for, I'm all for it. Let's do it. Let's just get you a little bit of healing pick me up.
That sounds great. That's great, Sarah. Well, thank you for taking time to speak with me and my listeners today. And if anyone would like to stay for the little after show, I'm going to have a little bit of the snippet of my experience with Sarah so you can see firsthand what it's going to be like. And that way it might take some apprehension out of your space to actually give it a try. For me, I thought it was really fun. It was amusing and I received a lot of clarity. So thank you for that.
No problem.
All right. Well, you have a great day, Sarah, and
Thank you so
keep
much. I
healing
really
people.
appreciate you taking this time having me on your
Yeah, it
show.
was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure. Take care, and I will speak to you maybe in the future.
Awesome. You have a good day.
You as well. Yes.
So what I'll do is I will find the negative emotion, and then it'll show me in each set where it comes from. So the organs, and then after each set, so there's 5 to 10 emotions in each set. Sometimes there's 15. Just know there's not going to be 20. We're going to keep moving. So that finishes up that set. So that's pretty much what it is. You find the negative and replace it with a positive. So the next one, it's
Yeah.
always interesting to see what is most needed because they always go in what is your highest good. So
Sure.
going back to the topic, so the emotions blocking speaking your own truth. Hold that in your heart space. What else can we find? Depression in the gallbladder. So when they do this, that's showing us a pattern. Well, so far we have the depression from the one before and then the depression here. They're just saying that there's a lot of that one emotion. So we're just going to chip away at it as much as you let them. And then so that emotion, instead of feeling all the way up here, hard to breathe, oh my gosh, it's taken away, we're going to slowly take it away so that emotion isn't so pressing. It's not saying that you're never going to feel it again. It's just saying it will
Of
be
course.
less.
Okay.
So that emotion of depression, where is this coming from? Is it own emotion? No, absorbed. This one's absorbed. Oh, where is this coming from? So from family. Do you have a significant other?
Yes.
Okay. It's from that person.
The depression?
Yeah, but they said it's not recent.
No, it's definitely not recent.
Okay.
It's over
Do
a
you want me to
year.
write a name or do you want me to write significant other?
You can write his name.
Okay.
It's
What's his
Soul,
name?
S-O-L. Soul,
Okay. So the good thing
S-O-L.
about this one, it's going to clear it for you and him. So that's beautiful. So you're doing healing work for both of you. Deep breaths and letting that one go. Good, strong, clear. Is there another emotion in that set? No, just that one. Okay. So what do you want to replace that with for both of you?
Oh, just more love.
More love, unconditional love?
Yeah. Thank you for joining me on Energy Work and Healing. If today's episode resonated with you, be sure to subscribe, share it with someone who might need it, and leave a review. Remember, your energy matters, and your healing helps heal the world. Here, we honor the path of blending spiritual integrity with practicality so you can walk empowered, aware, and aligned. Until next time, stay grounded, stay open, and keep listening to the wisdom found within.